Hi everyone! I'm going to share A Tale of Two Beasts with you today, and this book is all about perspective, that every story has two sides and everyone doesn't see everything exactly the same way. It's a wonderful little story. So here we go. A Tale of Two Beasts. So here we can kind of predict that our two beasts are here on the cover. We have a little girl, and then he looks like a squirrel. He's maybe a little squirrel, a little creature. So here are their footprints. So here's part one, The Strange Beast. Here's the first picture. It says, I was walking home from Grandma's house through the deep dark woods when I spied a strange little beast. He was stuck up a tree and whining sadly. Feep, feep. So he's whining sadly. So this says the deep dark woods, way out, and then the picnic area. So the person telling the story right now is the little girl. This is her perspective, her point of view. So I decided to rescue him. Feep! I will call you Fang, I told him. And I wrapped him warmly up in my scarf and carried him safely home. So she just saved the little squirrel creature. I gave him a lovely bath and a gorgeous new hat and sweater and a delicious bowl of fresh nuts. So she's trying to take care of him. I made him a beautiful house and gave him Lord Rex to play with. So there's Lord Rex. Fang's house. So she's really taking care of him. I took him out for lots of long walkies to keep him fit and healthy. And as you can see, he doesn't look like he's having a very good time. So it's even worse here. He just looks very angry now. And I showed him off to all my friends who loved him nearly as much as I did. So everyone's oohing and eyeing over Fang. But for some strange reason, the little beast did not look very happy. In fact, he was looking rather hot. I hope he's not sick, I thought, and opened the window to cool him down. But then something terrible happened. Uh-oh, it doesn't look so terrible for the little beast. He threw off his clothes, leapt out the window, and ran away as fast as he could back to the deep, dark woods. And she's yelling, Fang! And he's going, Feep! He's excited. He's excited to get out. I wanted to go and look for him, but Mama had other plans. Dinner time, blurg. Bath time, ugh. Bedtime, gurg. I couldn't sleep. I missed the little beast and wondered if I would ever see him again. Uh-oh. He's come back. But then a small furry shadow appeared at the foot of my bed. The strange little beast had returned. He seemed quite pleased to see me, and I began to think that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't that strange after all. So now they're together again. So here's part two. I wonder why he came back. And we get a little clue here. The terrible beast. So the first one was strange, and this one is terrible. The picture looks very familiar, so now the same story is going to be told from his point of view. I was hanging from my favorite tree, singing happily to the birds when, so before in the story it said feet, but this time it says tra-la-la, tra-la-la. I was ambushed by a terrible beast. Hey! She growled at me, gruff, and tied me up and carried me off to her secret lair. So in her perspective, she was just saving the little creature that she saw in the woods, but the little creature doesn't see it that way. She made me disgustingly clean and dressed me up in a ridiculous hat and sweater and tried to make me eat squirrel food. So he doesn't like it, so that's why I don't think he's a squirrel, but he looks like it. She kept me in a tiny box with nothing for me to do and nowhere for me to hang from. So in her mind, she's creating this wonderful little house for him, but in his mind, he has nowhere to hang and he's bored. She made me walk backwards and forwards and backwards again for no reason whatsoever. And she showed me off to a herd of even wilder beasts who were just as terrible as she was. I had had enough. I made a cunning plan and put it straight into action. A plus B equals freedom. So we get to see inside his head and why he was so happy there. Free once more! Woohoo! I raced back to the deep dark woods before the terrible beast could catch me. So we can't understand what she's saying this time. We know she's saying fang, but here it says gruff. It was peaceful in the deep dark woods. A bit too peaceful, perhaps. So here it says silence, scritch scratch. And also a bit wet. In weather like this, one could do with a nice warm hat. I snuck back to retrieve it under cover of darkness. So that's the reason that he went back. He needs his hat because it was raining. The terrible beast was waiting for me. She seemed quite pleased to see me, and I began to think that maybe, just maybe, she wasn't that terrible after all. So it's a very nice little story to really showcase that every story has two sides. So I hope you enjoyed it.